So here we are with Christina Tosi, Momofuku Milk Bar. Let's just say milk. Isn't that great? It's the best. And it's actually so much fun to meet the person who created cereal milk. But you didn't really create it, you just decided what to use it for.
Yeah, honestly, it was like a late night meandering. I was trying to come up with a flavor for a panna cotta to make this plated dessert at one of the Momofuku restaurants. Creative and innovative, something as simple as a panna cotta, but I wanted a clever flavored milk. And I walked to a late night convenience store and found myself in the cereal aisle.
And the rest is history.
Very simple.
So, how would you describe your palate?
I like to sort of describe my palate as highbrow, lowbrow, in that, I was
So the
raised...
highbrow end, what's that?
The highbrow end is like, I went to culinary school. I'm very fortunate enough to work for Dave Chang and to work for a variety of other great chefs in New York City. I've eaten at like all of the best restaurants in New York City and abroad, and I know how lucky I am. And for that, I have a very refined palate. But for me, like the down-home goodness of junk foods and baked goods is just as poignant and resonates with me just as much as that highbrow cuisine.
So what are your favorite flavors when it comes to not sweet, but savory?
I love Brussels sprouts. I love the flavor of cabbage. I'm a really big legume person. I like brightness. I really like acidity. I love pickles. I love anything fermented, anything with a lot of funk. Any sort of barnyardy flavors. I love smoky flavors. I have a really broad palette. I love flavors that pack a punch.
Right. What, now you've been in Toronto quite a bit back and forth because we've got the new Milk Bar here, which is very exciting. And you, like me, when you're in another city, you troll the grocery aisle.
Yeah.
And tell us what excited you though.
I mean, for me, I always go to new cities and people are like, oh, where are you eating? Where are you going to eat? But for me, like my super duper secret is that I troll the grocery store aisles. I always go to the chip aisle first, like the potato chip aisle, because I love to see what flavor potato chips there are because they really do market them based on the palate of the community that they're being sold in. I love going to the cereal aisle, obviously. I love going down the baking aisle, but I really love going down the packaged cookie aisle because for me, especially here, I'm so interested in what's out there, what people like, what people love, what really satisfies the palate and the balance of flavor in like the Canadian palate. There's been a lot of gluten-free, dairy-free cookies, which I've been super impressed by.
Is that going to show up in Milk Bar at some point?
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of requests for that?
We have, I mean, we're 3 days in at this point, and we definitely have fielded a handful. We have two different flavor gluten-free, dairy-free cookies in New York, and we just didn't bring them at first because we just weren't sure if there would be a request. And I told someone that yesterday, and she was like, oh, you better bring it. People are going to go crazy for it. So we're really excited to sort of play that, to play off of that.
So what's in the future for you then? You get asked that all the time.
We do get asked that. Funnily enough, we're actually, my sort of to-do list was like, open Milk Bar Toronto, and then second on the list is write another cookbook.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, so it's going to be called Milk Bar Life, same publisher, Clarkson Potter, and it's going to be about the culture and the community of Milk Bar. I mean, so much of what we produce is who we are and who we are in the kitchen and our flavor profiles and palates. And we're very jokey, but we're very serious. And we have this arsenal of recipes that we make for family meal, that we make for family gatherings, that we have grill outs with, that we make for like sleepovers and craft nights. And so it's going to be a cookbook about all the recipes that we make when we're not making Papa's
you love the
cereal
stories. You love the stories.
I love the stories.
Okay, I have to ask, have you had your pound of cookie dough yet today?
You know, I haven't. Traveling always stresses me out a little bit because I know that the likelihood of me having access to cookie dough is slim to none. But I have been eating all of the flavored potato chips and cookies from the local grocery stores, and that is enough to tide me over.
Thank you, Christina.
Yeah, thanks.